Women's basketball player Tanya Valancic is one of the many international players at WSU, and like many athletes, there was a specific moment that helped her make the decision to come to the U.S.
The breaking point was when Coachy said that she knows that this is a big jump for me, but they're here to catch me. So I really felt that, and like Lori, assistant coach, did everything for me, whatever I needed.
Assistant coach Lori Cohen, who helped Tanya, said Tanya's journey was an example of the complex and dynamic nature of the recruiting process.
She couldn't even come and visit here, so she chose us without a visit because her high school was so intense that she was in exams, and she basically we just had to build trust really, really fast.
From 9 different nationalities on women's basketball and Europeans and New Zealanders in volleyball and rowing, WSU's foreign representation is a big appeal for foreign recruits, as it was for current volleyball player Lucy Bleskova.
But I know having international players on the team was a big focus for her, having Magda on the team, so another middle from Czech Republic, so having that connection was huge.
Coach Cohen said part of the international recruiting focus is because of the lack of domestic success beyond the state.
And so when you squeeze your pool of available players and keep it regional, but we want to compete like we're a Power 5 school, and we want that, that's our expectation is NCAA tournaments and to win conference championships and to really hopefully lead the new Pac-12, you gotta scan the world.
International recruiting is a delicate process, but also a strong point for WSU. But what makes international athletes so different? A big difference for guard Eleanor Avila is in the rules.
Maybe back home it's more physical. I mean, there is more contact that it's allowed by the referee. So when you come here, you need to adjust your physicality, and that's why we always are in foul trouble.
The key difference, though, and the one that can provide a competitive advantage, is the international development system.
So most of these players have grown up playing as amateurs, as developmental players on a pro team. Right. So every single day they're walking into the gym with a professional coach, 20 to 35-year-old players that are elite competitors.
That difference can also be spotted in other collegiate sports, like volleyball or rowing.
So sometimes the internationals, they spend they're one sport athlete from probably when they were 12 or 13 years old. So they developed the technique and solidified a lot earlier. And so they might have a few quirks, but they also have a firmer fundamental.
With players from Italy, New Zealand, and France, a number of athletes are coming over to the U.S. for the opportunity to cash in on some NIL money.
And yeah, I think maybe for a school like WSU or schools in their positions, maybe a way to even the gap between themselves and a school like Gonzaga that's recruiting mostly domestic players.
Coach Cohen was not afraid to recognize the NIL budget disadvantage WSU faces and said it actually contributes to their mentality when recruiting.
We kind of love that, a place like Washington State where it's a little bit of a chip on your shoulder, underdog.
What WSU can't offer in NIL, it can in program culture, development, and support, and coaches believe they can draw in international athletes and get the most out of them because of it.
We don't, it's not all about the money. That's a great added thing that we can provide, and because they earned it, but it's not like we're just buying players just to have the best.
Seeing as rowing is not a sport where you can go pro in. It is more about culture. It's about the student-athlete balance, what we can offer in terms of the athletic support systems that we have here, and it's more about that rather than how many millions can I make and what do I get if I transfer and all that stuff.
That pride in being culture first is not only something that builds skills off the court, but also relationships off it. Flashy signings may be scarce at WSU, but intentional team building and bonding, like with Tanya in LA, are aplenty.
And then if there was one thing you wish you could bring from back home to Pullman, what would it be?
The food.
My mom.
Well, yeah. Can I change my answer? My family and them.
Yeah. First food, huh?